Alright, what's up YouTube? This is a how to make a fiberglass longboard video. A lot of good responses on a video I made about 2 years ago, so I wanted to show you guys how I make them with fiberglass instead of wood glue. First things first, I want to go over the set of tools you're going to need. You don't need all these tools, you can sub a lot of them out. I'll talk more about that in the video. First thing though, circular saw, pretty important. Going to cut the wood with it. Fiberglass components, that's the resin, that's the fiberglass cloth, fiberglass hardener, and latex gloves. That is the jigsaw right there. Here's the router with a roundover bit, some size. This is a belt sander. You're going to use it for about 20 seconds maybe, so you don't need a good one. Don't spend a lot of money on it. That's why I didn't. Palm sander for finish sanding. That's going to give you a nice smooth finish to get you ready for the polyurethane, which you can spray out of that gun if you have one. If not, just use a brush. Old skateboard truck to locate the holes for your screws. Drill to drill out the holes. A T-square or straight edge and tape measure. Pencil, obviously. And then the plywood. That is a 1/8 inch Baltic birch sheet of plywood. It's 30 inches by 48 inches, so we're going to cut that up in a couple minutes here. But it's super flexible at that width. You can use 1/4 inch plywood from Lowe's, Home Depot, you know, wherever you get it from. That I got from a specialty wood store that I live close to. So pretty thin, pretty flexible stuff. Like I said, if you want to use 1/4 inch, that's fine. 2-ply 1/4 inch with a couple pieces of fiberglass in between. Still follow the video to guide you through how to do that. This deck here, this is the first fiberglass deck I ever made. 3-ply, just like we're going to make in the video, with 4-ply fiberglass in it. So pretty thin stuff. That is also a very important tool. That is my press. Handmade, homemade, original design. There's only so many ways to make a press, but that is all me. No plans or anything. And then the mold, that's the second most important part, next to having thin plies of wood, is a way to shape it. I'll go over other ways to shape wood without a press, without a mold, but you can see exactly what the mold gets you. Is some concave and some camber, both at one time, which obviously gives you the most strength. So that press I handmade, 3 2-ton bottle jacks, cost me about $70 total. So we are going to jump right into cutting the wood and getting the deck just about ready to rock. So, and like I said, a lot of these tools you can definitely sub out. So this is going to be cutting the wood. You don't need to use a circular saw. You can use a hand saw, though it does take longer and it's not as clean of a cut. Right now I'm just measuring out 3 even pieces of wood at an even length that will fit in my press, which just so happens to be 40 inches. Cutting out the pieces of wood, again, you can use a hand saw here. Don't need to necessarily use a circular saw. It can just be a hand saw. So running that down, then cutting them to length, 1, 2, 3. They're relatively even. They don't have to be perfect because you are going to cut a deck out of them, so they're just blanks really, just templates for the most part. So sizing the fiberglass, you get the fiberglass cloth. I'm doing 2 pieces of cloth in between each ply of wood. That's a total of 4 pieces of cloth. They just got to be bigger than each blank. Mixing up your epoxy, those are 3-ounce Dixie cups. They work well for me. I don't mix all the epoxy up at once. I break it up into 4 or 5 parts. It's 1.5 ounces, 11 drops of the hardener that I just added, and mix it up. Once it's mixed up, pour it on the wood, grab a spreader, spread this stuff around. It's pretty nasty. Wear latex gloves if you can. Once you got it liberally spread around the piece of wood, you're going to put the fiberglass cloth down, more epoxy, and then just wash, rinse, repeat, basically until you are ready to go. I did fast forward. I fast forwarded through a lot of this video. The fast forward there, you know, that's 4 sheets of fiberglass cloth later. Here we go into the press. So just like I had in that other clip we just got out of, 2 sawhorses spaced somewhat evenly, and putting weight in the middle of the deck, and leaving it for 24 hours like that will just give you camber, and that'll be enough. You know, you do want to do that if you don't have a press and a mold. That is the best way to go. Next part, making a template. This is actually the shape of the board, whether you want it to be a twin, whether you want it to be a pintail. The best thing I found is packing paper. That's a deck I made in my other video. It's a pintail, and it's got a weird shape in the head that I want to alleviate, and basically just make a straight 40-inch pintail in this video. So there I am, taking out that weird little divot that I put in there for whatever reason. Once you're done on the packing paper, once you have a design you like, normally I do half of it. That way you draw half on one side, half on the other. Just go ahead and cut it out with a razor blade. This side that I'm cutting right now doesn't matter if it's perfect, if it's off a little bit. Get a center line on the blank here. The center line so you can work off the template. Make sure that it's going to line up nicely for you when you lay it down on there. There's the template that I just made out of the packing paper. I cut a little window so I can center it up perfectly. Obviously just trace the template out with a pencil right onto the blank, and then flip the template over and trace the other side. And now you got your pencil line on the deck, so you're ready to cut the deck. This is where you use a jigsaw. This is going to be hard to use anything else but a jigsaw, especially if you're doing a twin or something like that. Pintail is a little bit easier to cut out, but a jigsaw, you basically just cut it out of the deck. I mean, there's nothing fancy about cutting it. Just cut it to shape. It is important to go with the grain, not against the grain. You'll splinter it if you go against the grain. So there it is. Fast forward, got basically the whole pintail cut out of the blank, just doing a little bit of the finish and trim there just to make sure that we're all finished up. The reason that you're using the belt sander is you don't have a perfect cut with the jigsaw. It's never a straight cut. There's always a little bit of error left and right, especially because you're doing everything by hand. So you saw there how it cleans up the edges. Here, using the router, this is going to round it over. I like to router the top before I router the bottom. Fast forward, I'm routering the bottom here. Router the top, then I router the bottom. What that tends to do is give you more of a round over on the bottom. Once you've got it routered, you can hit it with another belt sand and then hit it with a finish sand with the palm sander here. This is really just going to get you ready for your artwork. Locate and drill your trucks first. Just do a pilot hole, don't drill it all the way through. Use a tiny bit and do 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 1/16 of an inch deep is all you need to do on that. Just drilling those out right there. And now it's time for artwork. I took this off, I sat in the living room, watched SportsCenter, and drew this up. Just drew it rough with a pencil, and then whenever it was Sharpies. I haven't ever done a design like this before, pretty psychedelic, crazy colors there. So once that's done, you're ready to do some clear coat. Alright, polyurethane, guys, I'm spraying it on with an HVLP gun that's high volume, low pressure. You can just use a brush. In this case, I brushed on the first coat here, but more or less do that 5, 6, 7 times, top and bottom. That's important. The top, your grip tape's going to stick to, which we're going to get into right after we drill out the trucks. But 5, 6 times of clear coat finish is going to give you the best finish you can get for the deck. There, I drill out the holes, sand them up a little bit, so basically the deck is done. It just needs to be grip taped. Grip tape, you can do whatever you want on. You can do a fancy shape, fancy shapes. You can do a basic cutout. In this case, I'm doing a pinstripe with a cutout right around the logo in the middle. If you've never done grip tape before, it's good to take a straight edge, run it down the side of the board, and then cut it out with a razor blade. It gives you a really clean look on the grip tape. Nothing more easy than that. Go ahead and attach your trucks just with normal hardware, front and back. Trucks are on the deck, ready to go. Here's a quick flex test to slow it down for you. You can see it actually does touch the ground a couple times there. Just super strong with that fiberglass in there, super resilient to bending, breaking, cracking, and then just a quick video of me just filming the way that the deck rides here. Got about 2 minutes, minute and a half till the video's up. Just gonna close with some remarks. Really appreciate all the comments and views everybody gave me on my other video. Definitely looking for some heavy traffic on this video. More comments, please. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. We'll constantly look at this video, make sure that I can, answer them on the spot. Not on the spot, maybe within a week or two. Definitely comment any questions. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more of a likelihood I'm going to make a video on how to make a mold, how to make a press. Like I said, it is an in-depth, long process. It's harder than making a longboard, that's for sure. But once you have one, guys, you can pump out decks like crazy. This is deck number 12 for me. I don't sell them. I don't really have any intention to sell them, though a lot of people have told me to sell them. I really don't. It's a really competitive market to get into. There's just so many longboard companies popping up within the past 5 years, basically. Trying to compete with guys from Original, trying to compete with guys from Land Yachts, Loaded. There's a couple local companies out here on the East Coast. It's a really hard market to get into. I just don't have the time or really the heart to put into trying to launch my own company, though. If any of these companies are watching this, I would love to come work for you. That's like a dream job, making longboards for a company. So, I don't sell them, don't ask. I'm not going to send you anything. I'm not going to mail you anything. I'm not going to send any cutouts. But, you do have this video to use as a reference. If you follow it to a T, you will get something like this. There's nothing better than riding your own deck, guys. I really mean that. It is a lot of fun. So, click subscribe. Send me a comment. Thanks for watching.